The boutique was nothing short of a sanctuary, an oasis of elegance and exclusivity, where luxury seemed to drip from the very walls. The air carried a delicate blend of fine leather and high-end perfume, a scent that whispered of wealth and sophistication. In the background, the soft strains of classical music played, wrapping the space in an air of refinement. Every inch of the boutique was designed to exude opulence, from the gleaming chandeliers overhead to the pristine marble beneath carefully selected designer shoes. Vanessa Cole stepped inside, the delicate chime of the boutique's entrance bell announcing her arrival like a quiet fanfare. She had just come from a grueling day in court, one that had tested every ounce of her skill, strategy, and resilience. But in the end, she had emerged victorious, securing a hard-fought win in a high-profile case that had captivated headlines for weeks. The weight of the battle still clung to her, but so did the satisfaction of justice served. Dressed in a navy blue pantsuit tailored to absolute perfection, she exuded both power and poise. The fabric hugged her frame in all the right places, a silent testament to authority and confidence. With each step, her heels clicked rhythmically against the polished marble floor, a sound that seemed to command attention without her even trying. But Vanessa wasn't here to make an impression. She wasn't here to prove anything. She was here for herself, to unwind, to indulge, to reward herself with something beautiful after an exhausting week. Yet, as she walked further into the boutique, she felt it, that subtle yet unmistakable shift in the air. It was a feeling she knew too well, the weight of scrutiny, the quiet tension of unwelcome judgment. Her gaze flickered toward the impeccably dressed employees, their uniforms crisp, their appearances curated to match the store's elite clientele. Their smiles were polite yet strained, stretched too tight, too forced. Their eyes lingered on her just a fraction too long. Their glances exchanged like whispered secrets. Vanessa had spent years in spaces like these, rooms where she was not expected to belong, where her presence was met with skepticism at best, hostility at worst. She had navigated these unspoken challenges her entire career, and today, she was in no mood for it. She wasn't here for a battle. She was here for a handbag. Moving gracefully toward a display of designer bags, she let her fingers glide over the soft leather of a sleek black clutch. Exquisite, elegant, the kind of piece that would elevate any outfit, effortlessly adding a touch of timeless sophistication. She was about to ask for a closer look when a voice sliced through the delicate hush of the store. "Can I help you?" Vanessa turned slowly, her gaze meeting that of a tall man with a sharp jawline and an air of arrogance that practically dripped off him. His name tag read Philip, store manager. She took in his assessing stare, the way his eyes scanned her, pausing on her clothes, her hands, her face. Ah, yes. She recognized that look, the unspoken question, the silent judgment, the assumption that she did not belong. "Just browsing, thank you," she replied, her tone polite but unwavering. Philip crossed his arms, the corners of his lips curling into a knowing smirk. "Browsing, huh? And for what exactly?" Vanessa's smile remained in place, unfazed. "For a handbag," she said simply, gesturing toward the display. "Why else would I be here?" His smirk deepened, his condescension almost palpable. "Are you sure about that?" he asked, voice laced with thinly veiled suspicion. "We've had incidents in the past." Vanessa arched an eyebrow. "Incidents?" Philip nodded, tilting his head slightly. "People coming in, wasting our time, causing trouble. I'm sure you understand." Oh, she understood. She understood perfectly. The flicker of anger was there, simmering just beneath the surface, but she kept her composure. "Are you suggesting I don't belong here?" she asked, her voice even, but sharp. Philip shrugged, the smugness never leaving his face. "I'm just saying we've had issues with certain individuals. I'd hate to have to call security." A slow, incredulous smile spread across Vanessa's lips. "Security? For what? For existing in a store? For touching a bag?" She had done nothing but step inside and browse, yet she knew exactly why he was doing this. It wasn't about her actions. It was about something far deeper, something more insidious. "Call them," she said, her voice steady. Philip blinked. "Excuse me?" Vanessa held his gaze. "Call security. Or the police. Whatever you need to do." For a moment, he hesitated. He hadn't expected her to challenge him. But his pride kicked in, and with an air of smug certainty, he pulled out his phone. "Fine, if that's how you want to play it." As he dialed, Vanessa reached into her handbag and pulled out her own phone, calmly typing a message. Philip's smirk widened. "What? Texting your lawyer," he sneered. Vanessa didn't even look up. "Something like that." Minutes later, 2 police officers walked into the boutique. Philip straightened, his confidence practically radiating off him. "Officers, thank you for coming," he said smoothly, his voice thick with false concern. "This woman has been loitering and causing a disturbance. She refused to leave when I asked, but something changed. The moment the officers laid eyes on Vanessa, recognition dawned. One of them stiffened, his expression shifting from neutral to uneasy. "Miss Cole?" one officer asked, his tone suddenly careful. "Is everything okay?" Philip's face twisted in confusion. "Wait, what?" The second officer stepped forward, his entire demeanor different now. "Miss Cole, do you need assistance?" A small, knowing smile played at Vanessa's lips. "Oh, I think the assistance has already arrived." She reached into her handbag and pulled out her ID, holding it up just enough for Philip to see. "Vanessa Cole, District Attorney." Philip's face went pale. I didn't know." Vanessa stepped closer, her eyes steady. "Didn't know what? That I was the district attorney? Or that your racism would have consequences?" The officers turned to Philip. "Sir, you just falsely reported a crime," one of them said, voice sharp. "That's a serious offense." Philip stammered, his confidence crumbling. I didn't know." Vanessa tilted her head slightly. "You didn't know what? That I was a human being? That I deserve respect?" The officers looked to Vanessa. "Miss Cole, would you like to press charges?" Philip's eyes widened in panic. "Charges? No, please." "I didn't mean." Vanessa held up a hand, silencing him. "No," she said at last. "I won't press charges." Philip exhaled, visibly relieved. "But," she added, "I will be making some phone calls." By the time Vanessa arrived home that evening, the boutique's corporate office was in full-blown crisis mode. Social media had erupted, the company scrambling to contain the backlash. Apologies were issued, but the damage was already done. Philip, fired. His career, ruined. They begged Vanessa to return, offering free merchandise discounts, anything to smooth it over. She declined. She didn't need their gifts. She had made her point. The incident became a rallying cry, a symbol of the fight that was far from over. And as for Vanessa, she returned to work, her resolve stronger than ever, because no one should ever have to prove they belong.